So the previous lesson was on elimination of arbitrary constants. So given a relation with one or more arbitrary constants, so we differentiate and combine equations until the constants disappear, leaving us with a differential equation. So this lesson, families of curves, is really just the same skill applied to a specific and very visual kind of relation. So equations that describe a whole family of geometric curves like lines, circles, parabolas, instead of just an abstract relation. So, for example, if y equals f of x plus c represents the family of curves. So, for example, if f of x is 2x, so we have a linear equation. So meaning this represents a family of lines. So where, of course, C is what we call the arbitrary constant. So if we have 1 for the value of C, meaning the y-intercept of the line for the specific member of the family of curves is equal to 1. And if we are going to have C is equal to 2, meaning the y-intercept of the next member of the family of curves is 2. And for the third one, the y-intercept is negative 3. So we're going to graph these three equations. So we have these lines. Okay, so the first one is passing through the y-axis at y equals 2. So this is the one with 2 as the y-intercept. The red one is 1 for its y-intercept, and for the green one, so its y-intercept is negative 3. So they have the same slope, as you can see. Okay, so the slope is equal to 2. So this constant, we usually use letter m for the slope. So m is what we call a fixed constant, while c is what we call the arbitrary constant. So we can assign any value to c. Okay, forming different members of this family of lines. So here are the steps in finding the differential equation of the family represented by a given relation. So we start with writing the standard equation of the given family of curves, then identify the constants and variables and classify the constants as fixed or arbitrary. So fixed meaning it stays the same for every member of the family, just like the slope from the previous slide, and is treated as an ordinary constant when differentiating. While for arbitrary, so it changes from curve to curve, just like for the y-intercept from the previous slide. So it's what generates the family and what we will eliminate. And lastly, so we eliminate the arbitrary constants. We have here some examples. So we start with lines with their x and y intercepts equal. So let's say we draw some members of this family of lines. So we have these three lines here. So the x and the y intercepts are equal. So we have the first line, the red one. So its x-intercept is 1, its y-intercept is also 1. For the blue line, its x-intercept is 2, y-intercept is 2, and for the green line, so we have 3 for the x and the y-intercepts. So step number 1 is we're going to write the standard equation. So for this line with x and y intercepts, so we usually use letter A for the x-intercept and B for the y-intercept. So for the standard equation involving x and y intercepts, we have x equals a, or x over a rather, plus y over b is equal to 1. So since A, A for this specific family of curves. So since A is equal to B, so you can just write the standard equation as x over A plus y over A plus 1. Okay, so we have x and y as the variables. So we have basically just one constant here. Okay, so second step is to identify what are the constants and the variables, and the third step is to classify the constant. Okay, so we have here A as our only constant, so it is of arbitrary type. Okay, so A can be equal to 1 or equal to 2 or equal to 3. So since we have only one arbitrary constant, so we expect a first order differential equation, okay, to represent the family of curves. So we are going to eliminate the arbitrary constant. So in the previous lesson, we had different approaches in eliminating the arbitrary constants. For this one, since the constant is in the denominator, so we're going to put it first in the numerator before differentiating. So we can multiply the whole equation by A. Okay, if we're going to multiply by A, and then we have x plus y on the left side and A on the right side. So it would be easier for us to differentiate and eliminate the arbitrary constant. So now by differentiating with respect to x, we have 1 plus y prime, and A is a constant, so its derivative is 0. And if we're going to arrange the terms, starting off with the derivative, so we get y prime plus 1 equals 0. So this is the differential equation representing the family of lines with the x and y intercepts equal. So from differential calculus, y prime is for a linear equation. Okay, so it's the slope of the line. So y prime here is -1, and as you can see in the graphs, so the slopes are -1. Okay, so the lines are parallel, therefore they have the same slope. We have a second example, a line, the family of lines passing a fixed point hk. So if we're going to draw some examples, so we have these three lines passing through the same point that we label using the letters H and K, which are constants, and the slopes are different. So we have the green and the red lines with positive slopes, while this blue line has a negative slope. So if we're going to write the standard equation of this family of lines, so it should be the one with um, a point with coordinates h and k and a slope. So we have the standard equation y minus the y coordinate of the common point that we label as k, and then equals the slope times x minus the x coordinate of the common point, which is labeled as h. Okay, so we have y and x as our variables, so our constants are h, k, and the slope. Okay, so as you can see, h and k are the same for all members of the family of lines, although doesn't have, or h and k do not have specific values, but the same for all lines, making them fixed constants, while M, okay, varies for the members of the family of lines, so therefore M is arbitrary. So we have only one arbitrary constant, therefore our differential equation should be of first order. Okay, so to eliminate the arbitrary constant, we can isolate it first. So M is the arbitrary constant. So we're going to isolate M. We're going to divide the whole equation by x minus h, making it y minus k all over x minus h on the left side of the equation and only m on the right side. We're isolating the arbitrary constant so that it would be easier for us to eliminate it. So once we differentiate the right side, so it is now eliminated. Okay, and then using quotient rule, so we differentiate the left side. Okay, so we have, so let's take that first. So we're going to differentiate. So we have x minus h times a derivative of the numerator, which is y prime, and then minus the numerator times the derivative of x minus h is 1, okay, and then all over x minus h quantity squared. And the right side, its derivative is 0. So if we're going to write our final answer, so we're going to multiply the whole equation by the square of x minus h, making the left side just equal to x minus h times y prime minus quantity y minus k equals 0. Alright, so we can have this as our final answer. Okay, in terms of y prime, so we have the first expression containing y prime, or if you want to get rid of the parentheses here, so we can write it as x minus h quantity y prime and then minus y and plus k equals 0. So this is the differential equation which represents all lines passing a fixed point hk. So the final answer must contain the fixed constants h and k, and arbitrary constant is eliminated. Okay, so lines whose sum of intercepts is fixed as k. So same as the first example, we write the standard equation of the line in terms of the x and the y intercepts. And it says here that the sum of A and B is fixed as K. So we can write one of the two intercepts in terms of K, so that we introduce it to the equation. So let's say we let B be equal to K minus A, or if you want, you can replace A instead. Okay, write K minus B instead of A. So this is the equation in terms of K. So B is K minus A. And right side is equal to 1. Okay. So we are going to eliminate the arbitrary constant. So let's classify first which of the two is the arbitrary constant. So we have two constants. We have A, K, and K. So since K is fixed, so A is our arbitrary constant. So only the summation of the intercepts k is fixed, so a can be any value. So for example, if k is 7 and then a is 3, so the y-intercept b is therefore equal to 4. So if a is of different value, then b would also have another value, making it arbitrary. Okay, but the summation of the two is fixed. So we're going to write a first order differential equation since there's only one arbitrary constant. Okay, so let's now go to the elimination of the arbitrary constant a. So let's multiply this equation by, so let me label it as equation 1. So multiply equation 1 by a and k minus a to put the constants in the numerator, and there will be no denominators left in the equation, so we get x times k minus a. Okay, x times k minus a and then plus y times a, and the right side is a times k minus a. So if we're going to differentiate, so we get k minus a, which is a constant. This expression is a constant. So the variable is x, so derivative of this is just the constant itself. And then for the second term, so that's the constant times derivative of y with respect to x or y prime. And the right side of the equation is purely constant, therefore its derivative is 0. And we still have the arbitrary constant a here, so we can isolate them. So we have a times, that's y prime minus 1, right? So this is negative 1 times a. So if we're going to factor out a, so we have y prime minus 1 for the other factor. And then we have plus k plus 0. So if we're going to solve for a, it's negative k over y prime minus 1. And we're going to plug this into equation 1. Okay, so let's label this as equation 2. So plugging in equation 2 to equation 1. So we get x over negative k over y prime minus 1 plus y over k minus a, but it's minus negative, so that's k plus k over y prime minus 1. And then the right side is equal to 1. So simplifying the complex fractions, so we get, let's first copy the first fraction for the second fraction. So let's get the LCD. It's y prime minus 1. So that's k times y prime minus 1. K plus k, right side is equal to 1. And simplifying further, so it's y prime minus 1 times x all over negative k, or we can put a negative sign here and the k here, and then plus y times y prime minus 1, k all over k times k. We can distribute the k, so k times y prime minus k plus k. So if we're going to simplify, so it's only ky prime in the denominator, and the right side is 1. Then, so let's write first the resulting fraction after simplifying. So that's ky prime equals 1. So the arbitrary constant a is now being eliminated. So this is already a differential equation. It's okay to, of course, have an answer with a fixed constant. Okay, so this is already a differential equation, but let's make it as a non-fractional equation. So we're going to multiply the whole equation by ky prime. So we get negative y prime minus 1 times x times y prime, k plus y times y prime minus 1 equals k times y prime. If we're going to combine similar terms, um, y prime minus 1 is a common factor, so we can factor it out from the two expressions here, from the two terms. So we get y minus xy prime, and then we're going to transfer the ky prime into the other side of the equation. So we have minus ky prime equals 0. Okay, so let's double check. So yeah, that's y prime minus 1 times y minus xy prime minus ky prime equals 0. Okay, so this is the differential equation representing the lines whose sum of intercepts is fixed as k. So next is parabolas with axis parallel to the y-axis and with distance from vertex to focus fixed as a. So we have these two parabolas. The axis is parallel to the y-axis, meaning the major axis is vertical. So the parabolas are either opening upward or downward. And the distance from vertex to focus is fixed as a. Okay, so for example, let's say 1 unit is the value of a. Okay, so this is the vertex at 0, 0. Then we have 1 unit above the vertex for the focus of this red parabola. And then down 2 units to the right and 2 units also to the left of the focus. Okay, to locate 2 other points on the parabola. And then we trace the curve. Okay, smooth curve. So this is a parabola opening upward, whose standard equation is x minus h quantity squared equals 4 times a, the distance from the vertex to the focus, times y minus k. For parabola opening upward and for downward, so it's negative 4 times a. Okay. But the value of a, if a parabola is opening upward, is negative. It's below the vertex, so the negative sign in the standard equation, and a's location, which is below the vertex, it makes it sort of the negative signs are cancelled. So for the final standard equation, you're representing all the parabolas for this family. Okay, so it's this standard equation. right? So for the second parabola, so it's the same thing. The vertex is, let's say, here. So we count 1 unit below it for the focus, and then 2 units to the right and 2 units to the left to trace the curve. So the width of the parabolas are the same since the distance from the vertex to the focus or the A is the same. So what varies is the the location of the vertex. Okay, so we have here three constants. Okay, so we have H, K, and A, but A is fixed. Okay, the vertex can be any point in the Cartesian plane, so therefore these two are arbitrary. So meaning we expect a second order differential equation since we have two arbitrary constants. So now we're ready to eliminate the arbitrary constants. Okay, so one approach is since, okay, so one approach is to expand the binomial here and then differentiate so as to eliminate the arbitrary constant. So no problem with the k here since it is just a linear part. So if we're going to differentiate the right side, so k once differentiated is just equal to 0. Okay, so we're after the h here, so we can first expand the binomial and then differentiate. Okay, so we get x squared minus 2hx plus h squared. And on the right side, so we have 4a, so no need to distribute 4a to y minus k. So as is lang. Since after differentiation, so um, k would be eliminated. So now differentiate with respect to x. So we have 2x minus 2h, and then 0 for derivative of h squared since h is constant. And then for the right side, so 4a is the constant times derivative of y with respect to x or y prime and derivative of k is 0. So we have this equation wherein we have one arbitrary constant left, which is h. Okay, so we can isolate it and then do another round of differentiation to eliminate it. So we have only one term containing h. So compared to the previous example, so isolating it and differentiating would be more easy, okay, for this part here. So solving for h or 2h, since if we're going to differentiate, so 2h or h would yield the same derivative, which is 0. So just solve for 2h instead. So that's 2h equals 2x minus 4a y prime. So we're just arranging the terms, putting 2h in one side of the equation, isolating it so that after differentiating another round of differentiation, h will be eliminated. Okay, so on the left side, so we have 0, derivative of which is 0, and then for the right side, so we have 2 minus 4a, which is a constant, and derivative of y prime with respect to x is second derivative of y with respect to x. So we have this differential equation now with only a as the constant, which is fixed. So we're done with elimination, with the elimination of arbitrary constant. So this is the final differential equation. But of course, for the final answer, we must simplify the equation and arrange the terms. So we'll divide the whole equation by 2. So that makes it 1 minus 2ay double prime. Or if we're going to have the y double prime with positive sign, so can multiply the whole equation by -1. So therefore, the final answer is 2ay double prime minus 1 equals 0. So this represents the parabolas with axis parallel to the y-axis and with distance from vertex to focus fixed as 8. So now we have circles with center on the line y equals x and passing through the origin. So here are some examples. So we have this line y equals x. So the center of the circle should be on this line. So for these 3 examples, so the centers are on the line and all circles must pass through the origin. So for the smallest circle, so the center is here and it passes through the origin. So one of the points on the circle must be 0, 0. Okay, the coordinates must be 0, 0. And then for this biggest circle, so this is the center and it also passes through the origin. And for the third circle, so here the center on the line y equals x and then it also passes through the origin. Okay, so we start with the standard equation of a circle. So with h and k as the center of the circle. So if we're going to label, okay, for the biggest circle, so the center is h for the x coordinate and k for the y coordinate, okay, which is different from the center of this second circle, okay. So we can label the first one as h1 and k1, and then for the second one as h2 and k2, just to show that the 3 centers here are of different values. Okay, and then for the third one, let's say h3, k3. So h and k are not fixed, therefore they are arbitrary constants. Okay, so in terms of h and k, the standard equation of a line, of a circle rather, is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. Okay, the radius is r squared. So since the center is located on this line, okay, so the distance of the center from the x-axis is the y-coordinate of the center, or what we label as k, and then its distance from the y-axis is the x-coordinate, or the h, okay, for the smallest circle. So center is k distance from the x-axis and y, or rather h, units the distance from the y-axis. So since all circles are passing through the origin, so as you can see, okay, so the radius is bale the hypotenuse, okay, of a triangle formed, okay, using the h and k values. So this is, okay, we're going to draw a line, okay, connecting the center of the circle and the x-axis. So this is k, and then for this one, okay, distance of the point, the center of the circle from the y-axis is the h. So the radius, therefore, of the circle is the hypotenuse of this right triangle here. So we can write the radius in terms of h and k. Okay, so since h and k are arbitrary, so therefore the radius is also arbitrary. Okay, but we can write it in terms of h and k. So therefore, we have only um the h and k as arbitrary constants. Okay, but since the center is on the line y equals x, we can reduce further the number of arbitrary constants. So it's always the h value. Okay, it's always that the h value is equal to the k value, since again the center of the circle is on the y-axis and it should pass through the origin. So like for the smallest circle, okay, it's k is just equal to h. Okay, for this third circle, so the k value, k is just equal to the x, or the h value. Okay, so therefore h is equal to k. So since h is equal to k and r squared is h squared plus k squared, and h is equal to k, so r squared is, we're going to replace k with h, so h squared plus another h squared, so r squared is 2h squared. So reducing the number of arbitrary constants to just one. So we are going to write the standard equation in terms of h only for the constant. So r squared is 2h squared. Okay, so we have only one arbitrary constant, so we're now ready for solving the differential equation. So by eliminating the arbitrary constant. Okay, so we can expand the binomial. So it's x squared minus 2hx plus h squared plus y squared minus 2hy plus h squared equals 2h squared. So combining like terms, we have h squared plus h squared is equal to h squared, which can be cancelled out with the 2h squared on the other side of the equation. So reducing the terms to just x squared minus 2hx plus y squared minus 2hy equals 0. So the arbitrary constant h is present in these two terms, and the two are the same in nature. The exponent is just equal to 1, so therefore we can factor out h. We can isolate it. Okay. So as to eliminate, okay, the arbitrary constant. So if we're going to isolate h, so we get squared minus, if we include 2, since this also has a factor na 2, okay, so the factor of this 2h, so it's x, and then plus y, okay, for the second factor. So take note that this is minus, so if we place subtraction here, then this should change in sign, so from negative it becomes positive. Okay, and then plus y squared. So we're going to isolate h, okay, or solve for h. So, let's put the 2h on the right side. So it's x squared plus y squared equals 2h times x plus y. So 2h therefore is x squared plus y squared all over x plus y. Okay, so let this be equation 1. Okay, so if we're going to differentiate, we eliminate the arbitrary constant. So we have by quotient tool, so we have x plus y, okay, times 2x plus 2y prime in terms of x and differentiation, and then minus x squared plus y squared times 1 plus y prime all over the square of x plus y, and then right side is 0. If we're going to multiply the whole equation by the square of x plus y, denominator, so we get x plus y times 2x plus 2y prime, a minus x squared plus y squared times 1 plus y prime equals 0. We're going to factor out completely. So there's a common 2 here. Okay, so 2 times x plus y times x plus y prime. And then for the second term, so x squared plus y squared times 1 plus y squared. So let's not remove na lang the grouping symbol. So let's have this as our final answer. This is already a differential equation since arbitrary constant is no longer present, and we have the first order a derivative. Only one arbitrary constant, therefore first order d. So this represents the circles with center on the line y equals x and passing through the origin.